We have here a lot of people. So hey, thanks a lot and welcome to that great session. We have a great guest here, Chen Zhang as well. We will invite him in soon. But before that, I check it out same time where we have people around Europe. We have in German, UK, India as well, Finland, Sweden, Spain. Yeah, so people around Europe and some of you also outside of Europe, but that's great. That's great. I'm sure that we will have a great session today. And if you have any questions, please send a message to chat. And then I'm sure that this will be a great session. And this is our 5th webinar, and we invite industry leaders to these sessions every time. And you select this topic in our spring webinar last time. We had a guest speaker, Michael Wormitak from Mercedes-Benz, and then we had a poll, and you voted that hey, this would be great topic for this webinar. And today we go through deeper that how to utilize data, how to do your scouting more systematic way, data-based way, and yeah, that's shortly what is topic today. And yeah, I before we go to the topic, I introduce myself really quickly. So I have been an entrepreneur for more than 20 years. I have led teams there and companies there in the United States and in the UK and also in Finland. And I have created customer engagement services for Universal and Sony, for example. And nowadays I'm a founder at Catapult. That is shortly my background. And then regarding Catapult, we are a data-driven research and platform company. We help corporations around Europe, and some of those come from outside of Europe as well. We help those corporations to find best startups and growth companies and solutions based on their specific need. And we have research and data analyst team that helps our clients, but then we have also in the pipe platform where our clients can do that scouting by themselves and understand what's going on there in the market, and also pick up the best cases for them. And we are utilizing the data of more than 2 million startups and growth companies all the time there in the market internationally. Yeah, that was shortly that some kind of background that you know what we are doing, who we are, and whom we are doing things. And there is some of our corporate partners and around Europe. So they are everything from agriculture to space industry. They are international corporations from different fields, but also governments and universities and cities. So it's a big variation who utilize our services. Yeah, but that's only give you some kind of understanding of different type of clients what we have. But now let's jump to the topic itself. So I'm more than happy to invite Chen Zhang, who is head of Startup Ecosystem Management Europe at Co-pace, and that is the entity for startup collaboration at Continental. So welcome, Chen. Welcome. It's great that you can join the session. Hopefully in 2 seconds. I'm sure that you will be here soon. We had some challenges with logging to the session when some systems block, those corporate systems block those speakers' rights. So sharing camera and voice is not so easy in all corporations. But basically, before Chen jumped in, I could also give you some kind of goals for that webinar. So basically, the main thing and most important thing is to basically share insights regarding that innovation scouting field, but also help your daily job there, how to do it as systematically and database and successfully. And today we have a bit different type of approach, because today we show you also concretely how to do those things. So earlier we have talked about a lot of these how corporations can do their job as successfully as possible, and we have had great guest speakers. But today we show you also on live how to do things by utilizing data rather in minutes than in months. So that's the one goal, and hopefully you get the concrete tips how to do it, how to do your job better way there and more efficiently and successfully. Wait a second, I took it out. So when are you there already? I can see your camera here. Mm-hmm. If our team sent that request again, then join. Okay. We can wrote that there's some imbalances. No problem, no problem. Chen will join hopefully soon. I'm sure that we can manage that. It's good that there's some challenges. Then the feeling is better when we can fix it. So that is normal in daily life as well. But Chen, when Chen joined, he can tell more about that Co-pace, because I'm sure that Continental is really familiar for you. But Co-pace, it's interesting entity that inside Continental that serve different departments there, and then we'll open also that more concrete, how they do things there, how they utilize startups and growth companies, and how Continental utilize those concretely. But then regarding InnoPipe today, this InnoPipe platform, today we check it out how to do discovery and scouting concretely by utilizing data. But then another thing is also that manage your deal flow, because that is one thing that is usually a big challenge. Okay, Chen is here. That's great. That's great.
Hi, hello.
Hello. So you are now on live.
Yeah.
Webinar, and great that you managed to.
Sorry for the technical problem. I can still not see your video, but I can speak now.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So no problem. But hey, please, could you introduce yourself and also tell more about Co-pace, because that is really interesting entity there inside Continental.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, good morning. From Germany, I'm sitting in Frankfurt. I'm with Co-pace, which is a subsidiary of Continental AG. Continental is in the automotive area, as you probably know. So we are one of the biggest automotive tier one. Co-pace is a subsidiary. We have the mission to build a bridge between startups and Continental AG. To serve our internal business area to accelerate their business. So because we are big and slow, and startups are small and fast. So we need this kind of support in order to better build our product. So Co-pace has around about 15 members spread over the world. I'm sitting in Germany, responsible for European startup ecosystem, and there are also some colleagues in North America, in Asia, and in Israel. So I have also another task, that's scouting. Now, scouting means if I get a task, a request from our business unit, then I start to search candidates for a partnership in a certain technology branch. So that's what I'm doing every day.
Yeah, sounds good. And today we will hear more concretely those things as well when we discuss further. But then we could also ask something about audience. So now all people out there, so take your phone and you use this QR code or join at slido.com and put this number. Let's spend a few minutes because that is interesting, that we would like to know what is your biggest challenge if you think about dealing with data in innovation. So please take your phone, use this QR code or go to slido.com and then put this number 2025987. So now they are first answers. Please continue sending those. So don't have a systematic approach to handle that dealing with data. That is 86%, 88%. Then there's 13% also that not enough data. And now there are some other challenges there as well. So that is interesting. But now it seems at least that this don't have a systematic approach. That is the biggest thing there. And I'm sure that this is quite general situation, because if we think about the corporation and the feedback that we hear and insights that we hear all the time from our clients, they have this really often the situation that there isn't systematic way to handle the whole process, that scouting process, but also the process after that. So let's talk about this a bit. So Chen, maybe you didn't see the results, but basically this lacking that systematic approach, that was the biggest 69%, if I remember correctly. That so how you see it? Have you faced that situation earlier as well, and what type of thoughts you have?
I get a lot of scouting requests from our business unit, and we have altogether 8 business units within Continental. So every week I get from each of them 1 or 2. So I have a lot of them. So in the past I started simply the scouting, then got a lot of long lists, and then I have to handle with lists. It was not really professional in that way. But today we're using professional tool like yours, InnoPipe, and the way of working is a totally different one. So I can tell you there are in general 3 challenges. So the first challenge is actually the scouting, because if you use the normal search engine for scouting companies in internet according to the given technology, then is most probably Google, but you will not find immediately the companies, but a lot of scientific articles and universities links and papers, and so first you need to find the companies, and it is already a challenge. And also the keywords you are using is in the beginning not really fitting. So for example, automated driving. If you want to search and find something in automated driving, you simply give in automated driving, then it is not precise enough. So most probably you want to have a quite precise subfield of automated driving. And in that case, you probably need to consult your expert, yeah, and communication is a problem because you cannot always reach your expert and and send emails around. That's a second problem I was facing every day in the past. Yeah, so you have a lot of emails with your experts. You have emails with external candidates, the companies, and you have a lot of emails, and sometimes some discussions are not documented. That's the second problem. And the third problem is because I'm dealing with a lot of requests and getting a lot of long lists. How to get an overview? It was also a problem because if you deal with Excel lists and sometimes they get lost. And then it was not a professional way. But today we have InnoPipe, and since it's getting in another way, because it's a kind of platform where not only I am working there, but also my colleagues are working there. Yeah? And my entire team is inside. We first find the loan list. And then we put into there, we can sort the list, we can categorize them, we can directly forward them to the experts and get their feedback about the companies. Everything in a silent way. Silent means you don't need to necessarily talk with experts. You just need to write some messages, and then they return the messages back when they have time. And in this way, we are much more efficient, I would say, compared to the past.
And what we have learned that this quite many, even huge corporations, they have used these Excels a lot, and there can be that different Excels in different places, and not this transparency that people could know that what's going on. But now, luckily, there are options to utilize data more systematic way, and today we go through those opportunities as well, and so that people can see it. But if you think about, you mentioned these three challenges, and how you see that, what was the biggest, some kind of first step when you did that earlier a bit differently and quite old style or normal way as people have done earlier, or even nowadays? What was the biggest challenge when you think about, hey, now we need to change it. Now we need to start to do it differently and systematic way. So, what type of decisions you needed to do there?
A lot of data, and so I would say thousand things like this. Companies will get in terms of a list, and so you have to have a very efficient way to manage the deal flow. So deal flow means you get the long list in, you fill it in this first iteration by yourself, and then you contact your expert and start discussion with this company and exchange document and start maybe some POC project. You can see is actually a very long process for each of these 1,000 companies. Yeah? So if you don't have a professional way of documenting the status and track the status, then you will end up in a chaotic situation. Yeah? So therefore, you need to have a professional tool to support that. It is not, in the very beginning, we have started with our CRM tool for this. That one does not have the property of tracking tracking and also to visualize the Kanban of all these activities. Therefore, we needed in the end something going into this direction and management of a pipeline, let's say.
Have you had the situation that earlier when you did in InnoPipe that it's difficult to give that overview to different stakeholders internally? So how that situation has changed, or did you have that problem earlier?
Sorry, you mean the exchange?
Basically, that when you didn't have a systematic approach earlier, so Was it problem when you wasn't able to show that some kind of overview that, okay, in this field, we have that type of options and we are going with these cases there. So was it challenged there earlier?
The past, if we found out a good candidate and want to forward that to experts, and then we simply write an email. And in that way, it can happen because we have hundreds and thousands of them. If an expert does not answer, then we just lost this because we don't have a system to check if the expert has answered or not. Email sent out, if they don't answer, then we forgot this opportunity.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So basically, that speed up and help you to maybe the handle the whole process, not totally automatically, but totally different way. However, when everyone can see where we are going and which cases. How about this internally, that is it easy to convince people that, hey, now we change the system, now we start to do things differently? So, or do people feel that, okay, that's great, or do they feel that, I have done this earlier this way, I have this own Excel? So what was internally some kind of discussion?
Normally, if you change our tool, change our system, where the people are already familiar with, is a difficult thing. But I think in our case, it was easier because to deal with Excel was not a beautiful way. To have a central tool where everybody's co-working there, and it is something everybody want to have. I would say this co-working characteristic is very attractive for everyone.
Yeah. And usually we try to avoid everything new, but it's great to hear that your team there has been open as well. And when I have had some of those discussions as well, I have felt quite similar, but it's good to understand there internally what is all of those discussions. Based on, if you think about, you already mentioned this, some of learnings and benefits and so on, when you have changed your process to more systematic approach, what is your some kind of biggest learnings, if you think about you and your teammates, that if you should select one or two, what is the biggest learning?
I would say deep flow management is a very time-consuming task. It requires a lot of evaluation and communication effort. Especially communication efforts can be reduced because it can be made more efficient if you have a professional tool. So let people write messages. That's much more efficient than let people talk. I mean, I don't want to say people should not talk. They should still talk, but everything what they talk should be documented. And sometimes it's much easier to write some messages than to have a meeting for 1 hour, where let's say the manager does not have insight into the technology and his understanding is afterwards not such perfect, compared as if the experts write down everything by himself into the tool. So communication efforts can be reduced, can be made more efficient. That's the learning we have done.
Yeah, and that's really good point. And even though the scouting part is quite some kind of how I say, it's more cool to find those great startups and there's more some kind of wow effect. But then that's what you underline also, that this handling after that, the process is also really, really critical because if you can handle it easily, then it takes so much time that you don't have time to do basically.
Exactly. So it has to be reliable, right? We have talked already about the management of the input, but the quality of the input is also very important. So how to do scouting? I mean, just to simply type in the keywords is a common way, but it's not a perfect way. Just have tried to explain, for example, automated driving. So there are so many sub-disciplines of automated driving. If you give a very abstract keywords, most probably you will not find a very target-oriented startups. So you try to search. Therefore, sometimes AI-supported searching is also very available. Means you say you just type in automated driving, and the engine can help you to let's say break down this word into sub-disciplines. So sometimes support is also very available.
Yeah. And yeah, really good point. And then there are one comment there as well. So basically, or two comments. Mari wrote that the data quality issue is one challenge there as well. So maybe that was already regarding the poll, and then yeah, that was already sent earlier. But then Timo just sent that regarding CRM, that how to track and utilize CRM as well. And that is one thing that we will talk about later as well, because what we have learned that when people utilize InnoPipe and for that scouting, finding those startups out there internationally, and then when they start to handle that whole deal flow management, at some point it's maybe good to when there's negotiations, for example, with those selected companies, then it's maybe easier to start to utilize corporate CRM, especially if there are some kind of rule that those CRMs needs to be used basically in that type of situation. Then it's possible to export automatically data to the CRM system, that those who start to go through those further discussions, then all information is there automatically, and there isn't this manual thing. And if there are too much manual tasks, then people don't have time to do it, and then it's not some kind of nice flow if you think about the whole deal flow management. But that is one option, to really export data of those cases to the CRM when that case is long enough in your pipeline, and you know that, okay, now we start to negotiate and discuss those different topics more deeply. And maybe I can say here openly as well that we are now with you Chen as well, regarding that stage that we are thinking this corporate integration.
CRM and InnoPipe are not a conflict. They are two poles in our whole process, right? So CRM is rather a long-time database for holding a lot of documents and doing project management. InnoPipe is rather for deal flow management. In the very beginning, let's say if you start to search for a company, and then you get thousands of a company in as a long list, you need to filter this long list towards a short list. And in this process we're rather doing this under InnoPipe, because InnoPipe is designed in the way that you can deal with thousands of entities, and you can do internal communication, external communication in a very efficient way, so that you find this shortlist. After the shortlist is found, then you can still import that into the CRM tool, because now what you do is to start a project with this company, and that one is rather under CRM.
Yeah. And there is one question as well, but let's come back to this when we have checked it out a bit, that what does that discovery and scouting and this deal flow management, what does it mean concretely with InnoPipe, for example? So I can share my screen. Wait a second. Let's pick up so that we can play that a bit. So let's jump to the innopipe.ai website. So now you see it. I'll log in here, and we can jump to our live platform and test it and show it. How does it work? So let's wait a second. Now my laptop is doing something weird, but hopefully now you jump in. You should see it. Yeah, that's great. So I jumped to that discovery part. So basically, if we would like to search something, we can start to, let's say, something AI related. Let's put the brackets. We can use these and or not things here. So basically, I show you quickly that here you can see those and or not options as well, so that you can specify what you want to find. You can use brackets, and then you can build as complex or simple search as you want, and then you can save it as well, so that all your teammates and colleagues can come back. You can name it like electric bicycles in Europe, those companies, and then you will find it there. But basically, if we come back to this and let's say that I would like to find AI or let's say machine learning, when I start to write down, our system suggests those keywords as well, but I can use whatever I want, or I can click it here. And then let's say, and logistics. So now we have some kind of keyword combination that we feel that would be interesting for us. And when we start to search, we see that there are 632 companies. But then we can specify, we can utilize these other criteria here as well. Let's say that we want to find only companies that have been founded after 2000, year 2000. We want to find those from Europe. So now we have a bit more smaller group of companies, so 183, and now we can start to check it out, those name, website, where they come from, one sentence description, then categories as well, and then how much they have employees roughly, then do they have raised funding, and if they have raised, how much they have raised. And then when that company has been founded. So that way you can quickly see the list of those companies. And I show you quickly also that how our system rate and analyze and rate all of those teams and companies, so that speed up the process. And now when I put my mouse here, we see the longer descriptions here, and we can easily check it out. Okay, what this company is doing. And then if I feel that, hey, this could be really interesting for us, I can click it and put it to the pipeline. So let's do it that way, and we can come back to this pipeline soon. But now we see that, okay, we have added this Academy of Robotics. But if we would like to know more about this case, I can click this. And now we see the data that we have generated automatically here. So no any kind of manual work. So now we see that is coming from the UK. They are this description. We create also automatic stacks here. So they are artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, robotics, and so on, logistics. And then we see the rating there and sub ratings. And then we see also the contact details. Please, Chen, you can.
Yeah, I think it's very valuable that every information is shown here in a compact and also comprehensive way. Other in the past, our experience is even you have found the web page of the company, you have to gather all this information in a half hour or 1 hour, because not every information is still available on the web page. Sometimes you need to go into a professional tool like I don't know, Crunchbase PitchBook in order to see their investment data, or go into LinkedIn to see the founders, their CVs. And here the benefits is you have everything on one place. It's gather all this information. You only need to go from tab to tab and see the information you need. And you can also see a rating here, which is very valuable for initial evaluation judgment of this company. You can even adapt the criteria according to your company's preferences, because from company to company, let's say priority of financial team structure and technology is rated in a different way. So
and also maybe it's good to crystallize that now we are utilizing different data providers, and we are utilizing own web scraping as well. So everything here is automatically. So when you first time check it out the company, we automatically generate everything that you will see now. So and then I could tell shortly regarding the rating as well. So basically, when you see those sub ratings, we analyze teams and the founders and their backgrounds, their former job positioning in different companies. Have they founded companies earlier, and what type of companies, and are they coming from the top of the top universities where, based on researches, come from the most successful founders. So we try to we calibrate the algorithms that they estimate growth. So rating is the higher rating, the bigger opportunities that this will grow and grow faster and faster, this company, all the time. And then regarding financials, we analyze their funding rounds, the cycle of those, and who have invested in the company, so that we can analyze also those investors and how successful investors they are. So that if I do the investment, or the most successful angel investor in Europe do the same investment, then the rating is higher if that another guy do it when his or her hit rate is super high. And then on the structure, we analyze how companies hiring people and how often, and again we can estimate that growth. And then industry rating is the tell that when we analyze all players there, that how unique technologies players are using there. So that gives also some kind of understanding of how advanced that field is there. But that was basically that. You see that description and our understanding of the company quite quickly. Then you can check it out. Founders or founder. Let's say that okay, there is this guy. We see that okay, his background. We see the degrees. Okay, and he has founded other companies as well. We see the biography here, and then if they are news that are related with that Pasi William, then we can check it out those as well. So that way you get the quite good understanding of the founder or founder team. And then if you would like to know the funding rounds, that how much they have raised and when, you can click that finance, and you see how much they have raised and when they have raised, and usually really often we get also that where they have raised that money, from which investors and so on. And then interesting is this news. So you can see the most relevant news here, and then you can check it out, this news here, and get quite good understanding quickly that okay, what this company is doing, what type of partners, what type of clients they have. So again, in few minutes you have a really good understanding. But then one of the most used features, so if you think about that this company would be really interesting in your case, but you would like to know those other options that are doing exactly same thing as this Academy of Robotics, you could click this similar. And we analyze those more than 2 million companies and what they are doing and who are doing as similar thing as this one specific company. So now our system analyze it and give you suggestions that, okay, they are that type of companies as well. And that speed up your process really, really heavily when you don't need to think about it. Okay, is there other options and what type of companies are there? But you can get that information in seconds. So that is basically quickly that if we think about this before we jump to the pipeline, but and now we see that company here. But Chen, you mentioned that this information is crucial, that it comes automatically. So how you think about that? Is there, how critical it is that the system update that data as well. So how you see it?
Well, to get the data from your side automatically already save us a lot of time, right? So that I think that's the key aspect, to get information in a very compact and comprehensive way automatically in this tool. So we only need to give the name of the company in, and the rest is done by the tool. Otherwise, we need too much time to search in the internet, and we don't know how reliable the source is, because if you do that, you can ensure the quality of the data, and everything is presented on a one pager to us. So that's the most available thing, I think.
Yeah, and there's one question as well here in the chat that can we get the contact information as well, email or phone number? And usually we have, so we can get really often those contact details of founder as well, or CEO. So basically, and many of our users, they have said that earlier that was quite nightmare because you can't find these contact details easily. So you save a lot of time when you can see it instantly. Okay, this is founder, this is contact details. So yeah, I want to underline, not for all companies, but most of companies we can get it in all countries basically really nicely. I check it out same time. Is there any good questions, or all questions are good, of course, but there's there's one question also for you, Chen, that you created that Co-pace for handling all of these processes. What was the some kind of main reason why you decided to have this own entity to handle these operations, but not do it the way that all business units and so on do that work there internal? So what was the reason behind that?
Co-pace was founded in the year 2017. So the reason for that is if you want to deal with startups, you have to be fast as well as a startup. So a big holding like a Continental with 250,000 of employees is not that fast. Therefore, we need to have a separate legal entity. Another reason is actually Co-pace has also the mission to invest into startups. First, we start a partnership, and if the partnership is leading to our high value for the company, we also do investment into that company. Therefore, Co-pace has two arms: a partnership arm and an investment arm. So usually, if you do investment, you want to have a separation from your mother company, from the holding. That's the reason why we have a separated legal entity from the mother holding. And but we're still a member of the Continental family. We have very close relationships to the BAs. We internal infrastructure we use the same internal infrastructure as the BA colleagues, business area colleagues use. So we are kind of a gateway to the outside world. So it's, but still inside of the Continental family. Yeah,
that's good crystallization. And Philip also asked here in the chat that how is the data quality and where these companies come from and so on. And maybe I mentioned something already, but basically, if I crystallize it, that we buy and license huge amount of data from different type of data providers. They are companies whose business is to basically collect data and sell it. So basically, we utilize that type of players out there, and of course, we utilize LinkedIn data and that type of players there as well, so that we can get that data automatically of those more than 2 million companies that we have analyzed that are relevant in this startup growth company and innovation field. And Innopipe focus on that really heavily, this field. So earlier we have had data of 400 million companies, but we have analyzed that they are something like 2.3 million companies that are relevant in that field. And InnoPipe, we focus on that group of those companies, so startups, growth companies, even though those can be also quite late startups. It's possible that they have raised 200 million euros already funding. So it's possible that they are not any so small companies, but however they are in our context, they are part of this growth company innovation field, and that's why we have those companies there still. But that was let's check it out. Hopefully that crystallized, Philip, how we get data, how we can run it automatically and serve those clients. Yeah, that's great. And then if we check it out quickly, also this deal flow thing, deal flow management, and you, Chen, already mentioned that how important it is. But I think that was part of the responsive answers of those audience in the poll, that basically having that systematic approach, handling also the scouting, but also the deal flow management, that is key thing. And also in our previous webinar, Michael from Mercedes-Benz underlined that there needs to be the proper tool to handle these things, because if you don't have it, then it's chaotic thing and you definitely can't do it successfully. But let's say I share this again so that we can check it out, this deal flow. So here we see that we have here our pipeline. There are long list, short list, meeting phase, and so on. We see how many companies we have in different stages. We have 73 companies now all in our pipeline. And here we see that for example, Academy of Robotics is now here when we add it to our pipeline. If we feel that, hey, this is so great that we should put it to the shortlist, then we can do it in 1 second. So we drag and drop it, and now everyone can see in our team or different teams that, okay, now it's in our shortlist. So that speed up the process again, that in 1 second you see that, okay, what is the status of that company? And then we could add also, let's say that I can put that I'm responsible person of that. So now everyone can see that Paavo take care of this case. So if I have any other specific questions regarding that case, maybe I contact Paavo. And again, in 1 second, that relevant information will be shared internally in the corporation. And now when I click that company again, there's a new tabs here as well. So basically we can save all materials here, or we can have a discussions here. And Chen, you mentioned also how important it is that you can ask expert comments. So I show you quickly that people that, okay, I can write down the comments and everyone can see that, okay, Paavo just now commented it. So there's a timestamp. But then also if we want to ask, let's say, one engineer in one our business unit who is taking care of integrations of different systems, for example, we could send a message and say that, hey, James, and James email and that, hey, write down that, hey, James, could you check it out, this Academy of Robotics, and how you feel that would it be good for this project X, and do you feel that it would be good to integrate there as well? And that way, now if I could click the send, James get the message where all of this relevant information of that company, team and finance and so on. And when James will reply, that doesn't go to any inbox somewhere, but comes here under discussion that, hey, and system shows that James, this expert, commented this case like that. So again, everything, all relevant information is in the right place and people can see it in seconds. What is the status? What is the comments? And also if we think about actions, there can be the what is the next step and is there any tasks that is in progress, for example, in this case. And then one thing you Chen, mentioned that it's possible that there are a lot of cases, a lot of companies. Some of our clients, they have more than 1,000 companies in one pipeline, and you can have many pipelines here as well. But when you have more and more options there and cases there on your pipeline, it's important that you can filter these easy. So let's say that I want to find cases that I'm responsible and then that are AI related. So that way I can see those quickly. Then if I want to see, let's say that I mentioned Project X, I think that I have wrote it down. Yeah, okay, I wrote down Project X. Now we found 2 cases. Someone has wrote the note that good for Project X. And then we have DAC here as well, that, okay, Project X. So, and again, in 1 second, you can see those relevant cases based on your specific project, for example. So that is the logic behind the whole deal flow management, that it takes seconds to get relevant information out and share information here. And then everyone can see also that if I click this select artist now, I can see that, okay, this is in our... Sorry, my Siri started to talk. She has some comments here as well. So, but this, I see that that case is on our main pipeline, but also mobility pipeline. So I don't need to check it out that, okay, is this case in some other departments table and so on, but I can see it again in seconds. But that is quickly those, if we think about the pipeline and handling deal flow management. And now how Chen, if you should say somehow, this is a bit tricky question, but if you compare your how you did earlier things with those Excels and emails and so on, so how much you save your time and your team time if you think about that deal flow management part?
There are 2 aspects I want to mention. One thing is because the entire communication regarding one startup is now under this startup element. So the thing is more transparent, because if you write email, that's a bilateral communication, right? If you write to engineer A, then engineer B does not know that there were communication about this. Now engineer B, C, D, they can all look into this communication, and the information is get transparent. And transparency is always important in a big company where teams are working together on one thing. That's one thing. Another thing is this pipeline can be configured according to your process. You can reflect your process into that. As I said, Co-pace is responsible for 2 things. One is partnership building. Another one is investment. So the process is inside Continental and Co-pace regarding these 2 activities are different. One is let's say collect a lot of candidates and filter and talk and do demo. And another one is investment decision is a different one. You have to run to upper management, do presentation and make a decision round, and the process is different. Therefore, we can configure the pipeline according to different processes. So one is starting with a backlog. Another one is already starting with selected candidates. So they are quite different. And the third variant we're currently using with this pipeline is actually also management of different startups at event. So they don't have collaborations to each other, the events, and you can use them as a bucket to collect different startups participating in that event, and just to spread this information to all these stakeholders who are interested in that event, in order to see if they want to attend this event or not. This is also kind of management we're using with this pipeline thing.
Yeah. And there is also one question that is there. Would it be possible that customer has some kind of requirements, and then InnoPipe automatically would update the pipelines with potential companies? So that's great idea. So now we give that right for users to do it by themselves, so that they decide which companies should be on their pipeline. But maybe we should add this recommendation automatically as well, that basically people could trust that, okay, there is a new company that you should have on your pipeline, that hey, you're welcome, so that you would not even need to do that discovery by yourself, but and we could even do it technically, but that's good point. We could think about it that how we could do that. And wait a second, I thought that we have few things before we'll end. We summarize things. I have a summary slide there. Thanks team that you have prepared everything there. And then we have one poll. We have one question for you, for all participants there. So wait a second. So I share that. Wait a second. Where's the? Where is that? Right up there. For some reason, let's put it there. So wait a second. You will see it soon. So let's do it that way. And then let's check it out. Is there any new questions there? But now there are some challenges with the sharing. Wait a second. Weird. Word is not ready yet, but no, that's how it goes. So now you should see my screen. Let's do it that way. Okay, let's jump to these and these, and then now you see it. That's great. So now if we check it out, the poll, that was the poll. But then if we think about summary, so biggest pain using data in innovation, one is lack of data. So you need to have the data so that you can utilize it systematically. But really often there isn't this data approach and systematic way to do it. And we, of course, try to help our clients to do it really smoothly. And then one thing is to challenge to how to find those relevant things. And this AI rating is one part of that as well. And not sure what to do with the data. And that's, of course, important that when you have this deal flow management, you know exactly what is the next step and who do and what. And then if we think about the how to utilize it easiest way, this high quality database, that is the first some kind of key point so that you can do it, the discovery part systematically, and then have this deal flow management in place. And then that, Chen, what you mentioned, this transparency as well, because that speed up the knowledge sharing internally, and so that people in different teams can know exactly what's going on there regarding different cases. And then we also talk about this integration. So first integration, that you have one place where you have the discovery, where you have deal flow management, and where you have all materials and discussions. But then also that if you have a need to integrate it to your CRM, it's important to do it the way that it's automatic, totally automatic system to export all relevant information to your CRM as well. But then the question for you, audience, a second poll and last one. So use this QR code or go to slido.com with your mobile phone. So which topic would be the most relevant for you and would be the most interested in? So there are three options. So the unspoken rules of successful corporate venturing. Then the second is the biggest screw-ups in corporate venturing. And then the third one, this quite a bit new approach, is a roundtable discussion together with other corporate leaders, because they are people who have asked it. So that's why we added here as well. So then we have here, so roundtables, then the biggest screw ups now you have voted. So please send more, not in a hurry. So okay, that was good to understand. So it seems that these screw ups and roundtables, those are the most interested in topics. So we will check it out, those, that how we can serve you as good way as possible. And if you would like to continue discussion with me, if you have any questions, please, you can book the short meeting, and that is of course for free. And I'm more than happy to share all insights as well, what we have learned from different corporations when we have lot of discussions and project with corporations around Europe, small corporations, but also these huge ones. So, but hey, Chen, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time and your insights. It was really nice and valuable to hear your thoughts and learnings. And of course, audience there, thanks a lot for your questions. And then we will get back to these as well. So we will send some summary, and if there are something that we would like to add regarding those questions that you have asked, then we will send to you as well later. But hey, thanks a lot, Chen, and thanks a lot, audience, and have a great and energetic fall time to all of you.